GST Solution. My name is Rushik Desai. Today we are going to discuss about apportionment of credit and block credit. The provisions with regard to apportionment of credit and block credit is given in section 17 of CGST Act 2017. Friends, in our earlier video, we had already discussed what are the conditions and what are the eligibility for taking the input tax credit. We had also divided the term input tax credit into two separate parts, that is input tax and credit. It is very pertinent here to note that the term input tax credit is both a different term, and whatever is your input tax is not necessarily your credit. And these we are going to discuss today in section 17 of CGST Act. Friends, let us quickly revise the provisions given in section 16 of CGST Act 2017, wherein it has been said that in order to take any input tax credit, it must be in course of furtherance of your business. It should be for your business purpose only. The conditions which are given in subsection 2 under section 16 is the recipient must have received the tax invoice, recipient must have received the goods and services, the supplier must have paid the tax to the government, and the recipient must have filed his return for taking the input tax credit. Now friends, section 17 says that even if all the conditions are satisfied, that means even if all the conditions which are given in section 16 is satisfied, then also there are few items against which the government don't intend to give you input tax credit. We are going to understand what are such items wherein government is saying that even all the conditions are satisfied, then also you are not eligible to take input tax credit. Friends, let us quickly go through section 17 of CGST Act, wherein it has been said under subsection 1s, where the goods and services or both have been used by the registered payers partly for the purpose of business and partly for other purposes, then the amount of credit shall be restricted to so much of input tax credit as is attributable to the purpose of his business. Means any goods or services if the recipient is using, and out of that goods or services he is using that goods or services for the purpose of productions of any goods as well as for the purpose of any other purpose other than business, then he will be eligible to the input tax credit for only that amount which he is using it for the purpose of his business. Business के रिलेटेड जितना इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट यूज किया हुआ उतना ही इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट उसको मिलेगा. अदर देन बिजनेस पर्पस द रिसिपिएंट विल नॉट बी एलिजिबल टू टेक इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. सबसेक्शन 2 ऑफ section 17 says when the goods or services or both are used by the registered person partly for affecting taxable supplies including zero rated supplies and partly for providing the exempted supplies, then the input tax credit will be restricted to so much of amount which is attributable to the said taxable supplies including zero rated supplies. It means if any registered person is using any goods or services partly for providing the taxable services and partly for exempted services, then he will be eligible to take input tax credit only to that portion against which he is providing that particular taxable supplies including zero rated supplies. Exempt supplies provide करने के लिए जितना भी goods और services use हो रहा है उसका input tax credit as per this section will not be eligible to the registered person as the case may be. Now friends, subsection 3 says for the purpose of subsection 2 means earlier हमने जो भी डिस्कस किया है कि एग्जाम सप्लाईज के लिए जो भी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट यूज किया हुआ है वो आपको नहीं मिलेगा. तो व्हाट डज द टर्म एग्जाम सप्लाईज मीन? Friends, this also we had already discussed in our earlier videos wherein it has been said that the exempt supplies include a nil rated supply of goods, the goods which are exempted from wholly payment of tax, and it also includes the non-taxable supplies. Further, it has here been stated that apart from these two items, there are few other items which should also be included in the exempted categories, and they are if there is any transactions in securities, then it will also be added to this exempt supply turnover. If there is any transaction for sale of land, that turnover will be considered as an exempted supplies. If there is any supplies against which the recipient is liable to pay tax, it means the turnover of reverse charge mechanism, that also will be considered as an exempt supplies of goods and services, and hence it will also be included. और ये सर्विस प्रोवाइड करने के लिए जितना भी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट लिया हुआ है उसका इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट आपको नहीं मिलेगा. रिसिपिएंट विल नॉट बी एलिजिबल टू टेक इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट फॉर दिस मेनी आइटम्स. नाउ फ्रेंड्स, वन में क्वेश्चन कि एग्जाम सप्लाईज के सामने कितना इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट यूज किया हुआ है, हाउ टू बाइफरकेट इट. So friends, for these purpose they have given a separate set of rules, that is rule number 42 of CGST Act 2017, wherein they had said that after applying the formula you will be able to find out the portion of input tax credit that is attributable to the exempted supplies. Now friends, we are going through subsection 4 of section 17, and which says that in case the registered person is a banking company or a financial company or a non-banking financial company, if they are also taking the input tax credit of so many goods and services for providing their output taxable services. So in case they are providing the taxable services which also includes the zero rated as well as taxable, vis-a-vis they are also giving certain exempted services. So how to bifurcate the amount of ITC pertaining to each category to these registered persons also, that is the banking company. So for this also they have given a separate set of rules, that is rule number 38. Applying that rule, applying the formula which is given in rule number 38, these registered person may be able to find out the amount of ITC pertaining to each category of supplies. Now friends, we are going to subsection 5 of section number 17, wherein they have specified certain goods and services against which all the conditions are satisfied, but even though despite of this the government don't intend to give you the input tax credit for these particular items. Motor vehicle for transportation of passenger having approved seating capacity of not more than 13%, except when they are used for making the following taxable supplies, namely, it means any motor vehicles having seating capacity of more than 13%, including drivers, then that particular services will be considered for and will be eligible for taking input tax credit. However, if any motor vehicle which is having a capacity of less than 13%, including the driver, will not be eligible to take input tax credit. However, when these motor vehicles are used further in the similar line of business, then these particular input tax credit will be eligible to registered person. Further, any item that is food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health service, cosmetic and plastic surgery, leasing or hiring of motor vehicles, vessel or aircraft, as and when given, will not be eligible for any input tax credit. Further, membership of any club or a health and a fitness center, that will also be not eligible as an input tax credit. Further, travel benefit extended to the employees on vacation, such as leave or home travel concession which are given to the employee by the company, will not be eligible for the input tax credit. Works contract services when supplied for a construction of an immovable property other than plant and machinery. It means if work contract services is provided for the plant and machinery, then it will be eligible for input tax credit. Further, goods or services or both received by a taxable person for construction of an immovable property, again other than plant and machinery. It means again when any goods or services is received by the taxable person for plant and machinery, it will be allowed. However, if it is for construction of an immovable property, then input tax credit shall not be allowed. Further, goods and services on which tax has been paid under section 10. Now what is section 10? Section 10 is a composition scheme, wherein the person who have opted to be in a composition scheme shall not be liable to charge any tax on his invoice, and he is not liable to collect any tax from the procurement which he is making. Further, goods or services or both by a non-resident taxable person. So if any non-resident taxable person is there and if he is receiving any goods or services, then he will not be eligible to take input tax credit. However, if he imports certain material, then he must have paid IGST, that IGST will be allowed to him as an input tax credit. Further, goods or services both used for personal consumption. So it is the main criteria. If it is for only your business purpose, then only the credit will be eligible. However, if any goods or service is used for the personal consumption, then input tax credit to that extent shall be restricted and it will be not allowed to the registered person. Goods lost, stolen, destroyed or disposed of will not be eligible for any input tax credit. Any gift or any free samples which has been extended by the supplier, then also it will be not be eligible to as an input tax credit. And any tax paid in accordance with the provision of section 74, 129 and 30, that is any tax paid out of evasion, any confiscation of goods also, then also these tax will not be eligible as an input tax credit. So friends, these are all the listings which has been given in section 17 subsection 5, to which the government is not intending to give you input tax credit, and ITC to this extent is blocked. It is also known as a block credit. I hope you find this video very informative and useful. Thank you very much for watching my video. Thanks a lot, friends.